Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 23. It is Monday morning, the day that I'm supposed to not be able to get any kind of advantage play in. I have 8 meetings today, but I kind of analyzed the situation. I found a way to weasel a little bit of advantage play time in. So I have a very early meeting in the morning and this morning, and I noticed that between that and the next meeting there was enough time that if at the time of that meeting I was at a casino, then when that meeting is over, from the time that meeting is over to the time the next meeting starts is just enough time for me to get to the office to meet someone. So with it being that early, a lot of people would be doing that meeting from home. So I'm on my way to a casino right now for about 20 minutes of play, maybe 25, and then I'll have the meeting in the car, and then go ahead back to the office where I'll have the rest of my meetings for the day. I am hoping that by the end of the day I will have enough time to at least get one more short session in before the end of the day. And then, of course, tomorrow is going to be a crazy day. I'm not sure if I'm getting out or not at this point, but at least I can get a couple short sessions in today and get some EV. So for now, I'm letting you go, and then I'll be back to update you shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. That was actually pretty good. I was in and out of there in like 22 minutes. I go in, I look, I see nothing for the longest time, and I go around the back and I find 2 machines in position. Some of the lower return to player machines in the area, but if they're in the right position, you can make some money from them. I sit down on the first one. I play that one at a low level, like $1 a spin. I end up winning nicely on that one. I'm ahead about $375. When I get up from that, I move over to the next machine that has a play at a higher level, like a $6 a spin level. And I hesitated for a minute because I knew I didn't have a lot of time. And the last thing I wanted to do is get eaten up on that machine and get stuck and then not be able to make my meeting. And but it worked out. It did steal about $250 of my money at first, but then it gave it back, and by the time I was done, I ended up leaving ahead $518. So plus $518, I've got 1 minute until my meeting. So as soon as I finish here talking to you, I'm going to hop in on my meeting as I'm driving to the office, and I should be good. By the time I get there, the meeting after that should be starting, and hopefully I can get back to another casino later on today. So in 20 minutes I made more money than I do at a whole day at my job, before taxes, before insurance, and all that stuff. So you create EV anywhere that you can. If you can get up early, if you can stay up late, whatever you have to do, find a way to get that EV. So letting you go for now. I'll be back soon. It is now 2 minutes later, and my meeting was canceled. So how nice was that I had the foresight of thinking about getting out early and trying to make a little bit of money, and otherwise I would have been stuck in the office doing nothing, waiting for a meeting to start that was never going to start. And so anyway, I'm not going to go back to the casino, obviously, because I've got another meeting coming up. I got to get back to the office anyway, but at least now I can drive back, take my time. I can't stress it enough. How bad do you want this? How bad do you want to make money? Is $50 enough for you? Do you want to make a little bit more? If you make $50 2 or 3 times a day, does it supplement your income? Does it give you enough money? Is it worth it? Do you need to make more? What do you need to make? And then you figure out how to do it. You can work it backwards. and figure out how to do it. That's how I did it last year with my 250K, and that's how you can do it as well. Now, I had a lot of good variants, and I had a lot of bad variants in getting there. And, you do what you have to do. There's still that one sitting at the Vegas blackjack table that killed me for 22,000 that, just destroyed my chances pretty much of getting my goal for the year. But I still got within like 4,000 of it. And there was the one time when I quote gambled last year, when I was, the table was right next to a restaurant in Vegas, and I had to wait about 15 minutes, so I sat down and bought in for I think 200 or something, and I was playing table minimum, and I hit a royal flush and won $2,500, and I did not include that in my numbers for last year, or I would have been about 1,000 away from my goal. But how much do you need to make? What games are in your arsenal? What is the EV of those games? Work it backwards, and you can figure out how many hours you need to put in every week. So anyway, not to beat a dead horse here, letting you go for now. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. Took care of all my meetings. They're all done, and I still have an hour and a half of work day left. So luckily for me, I'm efficient and took care of all my work during all my meetings, and I look like a big hero. So I am going to go back to a casino and try to make some more money. This morning was nice because I was able to make 2/3 or so, almost 2/3 of what I need for the day to stay on the pace that I want, without really having to go very far. So that's real good. I was fortunate to find those good plays, and hopefully I can find a few others. I think the machines that I played were the only ones in the whole casino that you couldn't use free play for, amazingly. But I don't know why. Actually, I'm thinking there might be another one and I'll test it out later on. But anyway, right now it is 34 degrees, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm heading back out to play some more. Work-wise, got everything taken care of, and everything seems to be good. So tomorrow I have a couple meetings. I should be able to take care of them on the road. However, I do have that dental appointment in the morning, and I do have a meeting tomorrow night, which I will verify, but that will greatly reduce the scope of my activities for tomorrow. So hopefully I'm in and out of the dentist's office relatively quickly, and then I'll just have a plan tonight, depending on what time I get out, where I can go. And I'll definitely have to skip casinos if I'm going to play any kind of blackjack tomorrow. But although I get a lot of my winnings from slots, if you want a big bulk win all at one time without having tons of free play, then the easiest way for me is blackjack. So and I'd like to stay on pace as much as possible. Anyway, letting you go for now, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. So I went in there, and it was pretty busy, but I saw a few people checking machines. I didn't really see a lot of opportunity in there. I ended up playing just a couple machines, and yeah, like I said, just not much available. On my way out, I saw one of these guys that calls himself an advantage player, and he had seen me a few days ago and asked me how my trip went, and I told him it was okay, and I was going out of town again tomorrow and all that. And I said, if I could go to this other casino that's a lot closer, I wouldn't have to go out of town at all if they would allow me to play. And he says, yeah, I haven't been there since COVID. I'm like, what are you talking about? Are you banned? No. Well, why haven't you been there? Well, the beer costs too much. Like, you idiot. What on earth? Are you kidding me? The beer costs too much? How many beers are you going to drink? 10? At what? An extra $1 a piece? Unbelievable. I would pay $100 a day to be able to walk back in that place and he's talking about the beers too much. So crazy. I did see a possible play in the high limit area. It's borderline, and 6 months ago I would have played it in a second. It was $10 a spin, but they've tightened those machines up substantially, so I don't play that anymore. I won't even play that level on a dollar machine, so definitely not going to do it on a $10. So I ended up leaving ahead $157, so that puts us ahead, what, $700 or so for the day. That's not bad, especially since we stayed relatively close to home. We only hit 2 spots, and in and out in no time for both times. So at this point, I guess I'm done. I mean, I got nothing else I can really do unless I want to go out of town. It's already end of the day. Probably not a good idea. Tomorrow going to be traveling, so I'm gonna head toward home and get myself ready for tomorrow. Look through all my work stuff, try to get stuff done for tomorrow. I don't know if you know, but in Outlook you can schedule a time for emails to go out, so you can actually schedule it for 9:35 and 11:03 and stuff like that. And if you keep your teams alive by using your phone or with a mouse jiggler, which I've used both, that along with the emails going out at random times like that, it'll make it look like you're sitting at your desk the whole day. So I don't know if that's helpful to anybody. I don't want anyone to get fired, obviously, but if it can get you some extra EV without risking your job, I think it's worth it. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if any of you guys have experience with podcasts, but the podcast system that I go through is owned by Spotify now, and they changed something today. So I used to be able to see the number of views for a 2-week period. Now I have to do a 1-month period or a 7-day period. The 2-week period used to be once every 2 weeks it would put 1 dot on the chart, but now that disappeared, and it has a daily. When you do going back as far as possible, instead of showing you every 2 weeks where you would have been, it shows every single day. So it's this big mess that you can't even read. It's just hundreds and hundreds of lines on a tiny little chart. So if anyone knows how to fix that, so I can just go back to doing my 2 weeks. It doesn't look like it's a setting. It looks like an update must have happened and they changed things around. I just liked keeping track of stuff like that. I like statistics, and I like to see which direction things are going. So today was supposed to be a do-nothing day, but we ended up making 700, and tomorrow's going to be a lower possibility day. So if I could make 1,000 tomorrow, I'd be happy. And then the next 3 days after that, I'm hoping to be big days. So we'll be taking more risk. We'll have a lot more variance and hopefully make more money. So that's what's going on right now. Right now, 37 degrees, cloudy skies, and I'm going to wrap it up for the day. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.